Good morning, everyone. Welcome from a cloudy, drizzly Lewis. Hope your Wednesday is going well. Today we're going to have a practice that focuses on the hips. So we'll be opening the back side of the hips, the outer hips. We'll be working on the front of the hips, your hip flexing muscles. And then we'll also be working on muscles that run through the hips, specifically the psoas iliac. No special equipment needed today, but I always do recommend, if you have a block or strap, that it's a good idea to have it nearby whenever you practice. Some days your body is not quite as open, or perhaps you've done a HIIT class or something that has tightened things up in a different way. Easy to buy, relatively inexpensive. I wouldn't pay any more than 10 to 20 for a nice block. The cork blocks are a little more expensive. Would stay away from squishy blocks. I know it's hard to know that online. And then straps, anywhere from $5 to $20 for a strap. The strap is a pretty basic thing. I like the ones with the D-rings on them. So the D-rings or a buckle ring like this Manduka product. Let's come to a nice easy seat. Sit up tall, spines long, shoulders away from your ears as you close your eyes and bring your awareness inward. Letting go of your day or checklist your to-dos and focusing on your yoga practice. We'll start with 3 long, even breaths. Breathing in, 2, 3, and exhale, 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3, and exhale, 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3, and exhale, 2, 3. Bring hands together at heart center and set an intention for our practice. Something you'd like to achieve, some energy that you'd like to send to someone, or energy that you'd like to receive. Then find your way onto your hands and knees, tabletop position. For cat-cow, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Inhale, gaze up, tailbone up, belly hangs. Exhale, Halloween cat, pelvis, gaze to navel. Inhale, fill your lungs back up with air. And exhale, coming back around, pressing up. Inhale, expand. And exhale, empty back out. A few more times on your own. Feel free to shift your hips to one side and then work that pelvic tilt. Start focusing on your breath. Your lips are sealed unless you've got allergies or an obstruction. Long, even breaths, 1-to-1 ratio of breathing in and breathing out. If you'd like to drop the back of your tongue and create that little bit of a ha sound, sometimes referred to as ujjayi breath, victorious breath, you can do that. Finding your way back to neutral. Take your knees as wide as your mat. Big toes touch for child's posture. Help to open the back side of the hips a bit, the lower back before we begin our practice. Forehead on the floor. Then walk your fingertips forward. And as you come up to just the fingertips, so the palm of the hand, the forearm are no longer touching the mat, I want you to start pushing into the fingertips, and you're going to send the hips a little bit closer to your heels. You may feel a rounding of your back, a little bit of flexation there. Breathe in and breathe out. Walk your hands over to the left-hand side of the mat. Right hand on top of left, and then sway to the right. Breathe into your right side body. Inhale. And exhale. Back through center, and then hands over to the right, left hand on top of right, and then it's a pressing to the left, open up all of that left side body. Maybe a little bit of rotation to help find that particular spot that you need a little extra attention into. And then come back through neutral, up to tabletop. And then curl your toes under, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Heels towards the floor, knees slightly bent, lifting hips, chest to thigh, pressing into your hands. Gaze just above your knees, mid-thigh, or if you can, to your belly button. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, fold over your legs, and then just hold. Let the head hang. We're not working into the deepest forward fold here, but just letting you come to that natural place you feel comfortable, and then hinging at the waist, pull your belly button to your spine, the head hangs, and breathe. In through your nose and exhale. Now come to half lift. Lifting the chest all the way back up. Put your hand, or halfway, not all the way back up. Hands above the knees, chest is going forward. Let the weight shift towards the ball of your foot as you press the thigh back and breathe into your hamstrings. Inhaling and exhaling. And then exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, reach your arms, gaze up to your thumbs, big full body stretch. And exhale, stand in Tadasana. Sun Salute A. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, up dog or baby cobra. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Pedal your feet. Sway, shift the hips side to side. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, even, and exhale. On your next inhale, look forward. Walk, step, or float to the front of your mat to flat back, that half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs completely. Inhale, reach your arms, gaze up to your thumbs. And exhale, stand in Tadasana. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift to halfway. And exhale, hands to the floor, low push up or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, up dog. Downward facing dog. Down dog twist, feet as wide as the mat. Left hand to right shin or ankle. Gaze up through the armpit. Open your right side body. Breathing in through your nose and exhale. Inhale, hands to the top. Switch sides. Inhale, hands to the top, feet to 2 fist distance. Look forward, you can bend the knees, let the hips come down if you want to try that float to the front. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your arms, gaze up to your thumbs. And then exhale, stand in Tadasana. Last one, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Lift your hips, down dog. Big toes touch. Right leg lifts. Draw the chest towards the left leg. Lift that right leg up higher. Breathe in and breathe out. Bend your right knee. Send the foot to the left hand side. Work to keep the chest neutral as you open up the hip. Breathing in and breathing out. And then back to neutral. Lift your right leg up high as you can. Now gaze forward. Shift your shoulders over your wrists. Take your right foot forward, first float it, and then set it down. Hands go directly underneath the shoulders. Left foot might scoot back a bit. Lift up the rib cage. Shoulder blades move away from one another. Breathe in and breathe out. Option to stay on your hands. Option you to bring your left knee to the floor or stay powered up. Option to come to lizard. Forearms to the floor. Left forearm first, and that's the right one that will be a little tougher here. Keep that right knee close to the rib, to the shoulder. Inhale and exhale. Back to the hands, left hand bases, right arm up, twisting, gaze up to your right thumb. So notice in the twist, we're twisting from the mid-back, so you feel the right shoulder lifting up, the arm is just an extension of that. Breathe into the right outer hip. We're going to focus on all the things that are happening in the hips in all of our postures today. Exhale, right hand out. Left knee to the floor. Stargazer. Turn your right foot out. Walk it out and then send it back. Come to the left forearm. Right hand to the inner right thigh. Stack your right shoulder up over your left. Gaze up to your ceiling. Push into that right thigh. Inhaling and exhaling. And then exhale. Options here. You can just stay pushing into the thigh. You should be feeling a stretch there on the outer right hip. It's also nice thoracic movement here, opening up the spine. Option to take the left heel to the hip. Right hand goes behind. And then, slipping on the floor here. Right hand binds to the outside edge the left foot, and then draw the left heel even closer. Stretch the front of your left thigh. Those left hip flexing muscles. Breathe in and breathe out. And then coming back around. Wherever you're at, just turn the toes forward and come up to kneeling posture. Left foot is behind the left knee. Left hand on right thigh. Right hand on top of left, bring your left shoulder back, and then start to sit up. Get to 90 degrees between the right thigh and the upper body. Find that tallness as you inhale and exhale. Start drawing your tailbone toward your belly button, tilting the pelvis forward, scooping, so to speak. Posterior tilt. Inhale and exhale. Walk your right foot forward about 5 to 6 inches, and then place the knee back over the ankle, push into your right thigh, and create that 90-degree angle again here. Inhaling and exhaling. Now reach arms up overhead. Hook your thumbs. Reach the fingertips up and gaze upward. Lifting the chest up. Inhale and exhale. Keep holding onto the thumbs. Reach the fingers up. Curl your left toes under. Power up into high lunge. Lost my balance there. It's a tricky one. Squeeze the outer hips in. Sitting down into it. Push into the left heel. You may want to walk the width wider to give yourself more stability. You can walk the right foot forward. Now send your gaze directly overhead, stretching and opening and breathing in through your nose and exhale. And then exhale, hands down to the floor. Right foot meets left. Shift to high plank And then gaze forward, bend the elbows, and slowly lower on a 5 count, either to chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, up dog, lift your hips, roll over your feet, downward facing dog. Pedal your feet. Make any adjustments you need in your dog. You should notice the difference between right and left sides. Inhaling and exhaling. Big toes touch. Left leg lifts, chest towards right thigh. Push into your hands and lift those hips up even higher. Bend the left knee, foot to the right hand side. Neutral chest as you open up. Breathing in and breathing out. Back to neutral. Left leg lifts and then shift shoulders over the wrists. Bring the foot forward, set it down. And walk the right foot back further. Stacking up. Breathing in and breathing out. Here's the option, same one as before. Stay here or lower to forearms. And neither one of these, the knee can be powered up off the floor or down touching the floor. Breathing in and breathing out. Bringing your forehead closer to the mat. All the while keeping that left knee in and close. Inhale, coming back up to your hands. Flip so you can see me better. Right hand bases. Left arm lifts. Gaze, twist. Stacking left shoulder over right. Push into that right hand. Reach up to the left fingertips. Inhale and exhale. And then exhale down. Right knee to the floor. Left toes turn out. Walk the foot out and back. Then come down onto your forearms. Right forearm. And then left hand, the left inner thigh, gazing up. Stargazer posture. Inhale and exhale. Option to stretch the right quad, so right heel comes to the hips, move so the in camera. Left hand reaches back, take to the outside edge, which is going to help keep an open shoulder. If you grab that inner arch, your shoulder points down. I want it opening up to the ceiling, all the while bring that heel closer to the hip. Breathe into the front of your right quad, your right waist crease. Inhale and exhale, coming around. Inhale, up onto your hands, turn the feet forward, kneeling posture. Right hand on left thigh, left hand on right, right shoulder draws back. Feel tall. Draw the tailbone toward the belly button. Breathing in through your nose and exhaling. Left foot forward, left knee over ankle, push away, return back to that 90 degrees, the pelvic tilt, scooping, inhale and exhale. Hooking your thumbs, do so the opposite way. Just to feel slightly awkward or a bit strange. Spread the fingers, lifting up, lower ribs, and initially come in. And then you can put the crescent into it. So now the lower ribs go out. Shoulders relax, reach the arms back. Walking, lifting, and breathing. Inhale and exhale. Gaze goes forward. Curl your right toes under. And then powering up into your high lunge. Push into the heels. So gaze is forward initially.
Those lower ribs coming in. So we're thinking about Tadasana on the spine. So it's vertical spine. Then we add in to go to high crescent lunge, which is the back bend. Now the ribs pop back, out rather, and the arms reach back. Gaze directly overhead as you inhale, sitting down, but reaching up with the chest and the arms. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Left foot meets right. Shift your shoulders over your wrists. Now gaze forward. Bend the elbows, send the elbows backwards. Not out to the side, not chicken wings, but to the back. And then lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Up dog. Down dog. Pedal your feet. Sway the hips. Inhale and exhale. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, fold over your legs. Inhale, arms up, hips down, Utkatasana, fierce posture. Sit into your chair. So knees are pressing together, hips drive down and back. Turn again so you can see. So I'm going backwards, not the knees going forward, but the hips going back as you reach up. Hands can be shoulder distance or you can press. Inhale and exhale. Sit a little lower, reach a little higher. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift to halfway. And then exhale, hands to the floor, walk or float the feet back, high to low, or knees, chest, chin, up dog, baby cobra. Lift hips, down dog. So we're gonna do warrior one, but I want you to have a wide stance. So take your right foot about the level of your right wrist, and then take your left foot, open it out almost so that you're standing on the edges of the mat, and then rise up, warrior one. So I know it's hard to see here, but my feet are on the edges of the mat. So now this is gonna really allow me to draw the right hip back and the left hip forward. My ribs are coming in, my arms reach up. I'm sitting down, so I'm very hip focused. We're still building strength in the legs, muscles of the right thigh wrap around the bone. You feel tall to the crown of your head. You inhale and exhale. Open up to warrior two. And now left foot turns out. Deepen your stance a bit. So now we're back to heel. So the right heel, if you draw a line, would hit the left heel or your left arch, either one. And then the arms are reaching, sitting down, focusing on the hips. Imagine a pencil on the top of your thighs pointing up to the ceiling. I want you to tip the pencils away from one another. So exterior rotation of the thighs. You feel like you're moving the thighs away from one another, and all the while sitting down a little bit more into the posture. So there's opening while you're reaching, you're breathing, add on a little bit, but chin to chest and feel like a string's coming out the crown of your head. Flip your right palm, reverse your warrior, reach up and back. Breathe in to your side body, inhaling and exhaling. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Pivoting to high lunge. So we've been here before. So engage your core, turn, and lift the left heel. And then stacking up, reach the arms straight up overhead. There's a width between your feet, so walk them wider if need be and sit down. Inhale, and then exhale, hands to heart center. Twist to the right. Hook the left elbow to the outside of your right knee and gaze up. Option to bring your left knee to the floor or stay powered up. Breathing in and breathing out. And then exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale your right foot to meet left, coming to your plank. And then that slow lower. So elbows point to the back of the mat, not out to the side. Gazes forward, shifting forward. And then lowering into your chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, up dog. Downward facing dog. Look forward, walk, step, or float to the front of your mat, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up, hips down. Utkatasana. See if you can sit lower. Reach higher. Your butt and cheeks are just about to sit down into that folding chair. Drive them back, reaching up. Squeeze the outer hips in. Lift up through your pelvic floor, inch below the belly button, in and up to the heart. Inhaling and exhaling. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, hands to the floor, walk or float back, high to low. Inhale, up dog, down dog. Wide warrior one. Left foot steps up to the left wrist, out to the edge of the mat. Right foot goes to the outer edge of the mat. And then rise up, this very wide stance. Right hip forward, left hip back, lower ribs in. Sit down, reach up. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhaling and exhaling. Stay in the breath. Exhale, open up to warrior two. Find that heel to heel alignment. Maybe it's a little deeper, so you're finding depth on the mat. And then remember the external rotation of the thighs. A little bit of drawing of the tailbone toward the belly button, so the slightest bit of that posterior tilt. Shoulders relaxed as the arms reach up and back. Inhaling and exhale. And then flip your left palm, reverse your warrior, reaching up and back, stay in the legs. Inhaling and exhaling. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Pivot to high lunge. Peel that right heel up off the floor. Sit the hips down, reach up. Left knee over ankle. Widen the stance if need be. As you inhale and exhale. Exhale, hands to heart center, and then twist to the left. Hook the right elbow to the outside of the knee. Hands come together. Left elbow lays down onto the ribs. So I know there's a nice tendency to want to poke it up, but that makes the shoulder come up toward your ear. Relax the shoulder down from the ear, and you'll create more space to twist even deeper. Inhaling and exhaling. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Left foot meets right. Shift to high plank. Nice slow lower, so the chest is moving forward as the elbows point to the back. Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, up, dog. Down, dog. Walk your hands backwards to the feet. Feet at hips distance. Bind the big toes. Lift chest. Exhale and fold. Release the toes, bend the knees, pop the hands underneath the feet, lift the chest, and exhale, fold. And release. Let the arms hang or opposite elbows, hooked thumbs. Nice gentle sway to one side, straighten the opposite leg, lift, shift the hips, switch. outer hip, the outer thigh. Move on camera here. Take your left shin, cross it over the right, match up the pinky toes. And then start walking your hands to the left. Left hand starts walking toward the back of your mat. Shift the hips to the right. Right leg is fairly straight. And you're leaning to the right, all the while turning the upper body to the left. Breathe into that right outer hip. Inhale and exhale. Release, come back to neutral, switch sides. Right shin crosses over left, pinky toes match. Hands walk to the right, right hand starts going to the back of the mat. Shift to the left. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhaling and exhaling. And then come back to neutral. Uncross the legs. And then slowly roll up. One vertebra at a time. Think about stacking them, boom, boom, boom on top. Shoulders, and then finally your head come up. Pause for a moment, come back to equilibrium. Step one foot or the other forward. You're going to face the long side of the mat. Whichever direction is more comfortable for you. And then take your big toes, slightly turn them inward. Straight legs, hands to waist. And then exhale, fold forward. Here we go. Fingertips down to the floor. Bend the elbows to what is now the back of your mat. Lift the hips, folding at the waist. Breathing in and breathing out. If you have an inversion in your practice, now is a good time to take it. Tripod headstand form, stand from wide legs, or headstand from wide legs. You're just staying in Prasarita. Just lift the hips higher. Keep folding, following the breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, coming back up, hands to waist. Send your chin gaze up to the ceiling, working the front of the hips. Shift them forward. Squeeze your button cheeks, your glutes. Lift your sternum up to the ceiling as the head falls back. Stretch the front of your throat. Inhaling and exhaling. And then come back to neutral. With your hands to your waist, bend your right knee. And then lower down. Inhale back up, bend the left knee, and then start sitting down. So our side squats, dynamically shifting to right and left, back and forth, back and forth. Good. And then come back to neutral. Turn to the right. Right foot is forward of left. Hips, turn them to face the short end of your mat. Opposite elbows or reverse prayer for pyramid posture. Push into the outside edge of the feet. And then pull the shoulder blades toward one another. Lead with the sternum, hinge at the waist. Fold over your right leg. Neutral hips as you fold. Lift your right kneecap toward the waist crease. An option to lift the right toes or lift the whole of the foot and balance on your right heel. Inhaling and exhaling. And then inhale, rising up. Turn to the left, pyramid on the other side. So you need to widen the feet, hips distance or wider. Swap out the opposite elbows. If you're in reverse prayer, inch them higher. Pushing the outside edge, get tall. And exhale, fold. Option to lift left toes, balance on the heel, and then by lifting the left kneecap toward the waist crease, you're turning on the front of the thigh, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, rising up. To the top of your mat, stand with your feet at hips distance. Standing balances, standing figure 4 with some options for play. I want you to do with what you're comfortable with, and then maybe play with the next variation a little bit, but return back to your comfort zone as long as you're challenging yourself. That's always the key here. We want to find edges. All right, hands to waist, left, shift the weight into the left foot. Right knee, ankle above left knee. And then bring your hands to prayer. Pull your right toes toward your right knee, bend your left knee, but then shift the hips back. So same actions we found in Utkatasana, our seat. You're driving those hips back and you're sitting down. Send your right knee mindfully towards the floor. Inhale and exhale. Standing figure 4. Option to stay here, and you can go up and down. You can hinge at the waist. You can look down and begin to stack your left knee over your left ankle. It's driving the hips backwards. Next option would be to fold over your left leg and then begin to straighten that left leg. All the while, keep sending the right knee to what is now the back of your mat. Inhaling and exhaling. Option to stay here and just let the head hang. Or option to take flying pigeon. And shoulder distance. Right foot wraps around the left triceps. Now your right shin bone is across the back of your triceps. And then start shifting forward. And then lift that left heel. And then if you'd like, you can fly the left leg up to the air. Breathe. Slowly unwind. We exit our postures the same way we enter them. Very deliberately. And then come back to standing. Shake it out. Give the hips a little shake. All right, come back to your breath if you've lost it. And then hands to waist as it shifts. We always give the hands something to do. Left ankle above knee, hands to heart center. Bend and start sitting down. Up and downs, hinging at the waist. Right knee stacks up over right ankle. All the while, left toes are getting pulled toward the left knee, and you're sending the left knee down and back. Inhale and exhale. Option to fold over your right leg, straightening that right leg. Breathing in and breathing out. Stay here or play with Galavasana, flying pigeon on the other side. You decide what's right for your body. Inhale and exhale. And then coming back to your seat. Sitting figure 4 up. Release, shake it out. All right. Come towards the top of your mat. Stand with your feet as wide as the mat, and then turn the toes slightly outward. Hands to waist, hinge at the waist, and then bend your knees, and then slowly lower down. You may need to readjust your feet so that you can be on the sole of the feet. You may find yourself up on the balls of your feet. And if so, you can bunch up the mat, or you can put a blanket or a bolster underneath your heels. Elbows to inner knees, lift the chest, hands in prayer. And if you want to add on, you want to push the knees further apart, make fists with your hands. And that's going to give you just a little extra push into that inner knee, and send the knees forward. Lift your chest up. Draw the pelvis forward. The hip bones are coming toward the top of your mat. we're working to return back to a vertical spine. You can make the back of your neck feel longer. Chin side of the chest, feel that pull out the crown of your head. Inhale and exhale. Start shifting your weight back and forth in Malasana or Yoga Squat. Twisting, left hand down to the mat, right arm reaches up, gaze up to the thumb. Reaching up, option to take the arm behind you and bind to the gym pocket. Option to take that left arm around the shin, bind to the right hand, but keep gazing up over the right shoulder. Feel an up dog aspect to your right pectoral. Inhale and exhale. Come back through neutral. Right hand, right upper arm pushes against that right inner knee. So the left arm lifts, gaze up, and then you have those options of half or fully binding, breathing in and breathing out. Inhale and exhale. Come back to neutral. Turn your toes forward, engage your core, and then lower to your seat. Legs out straight, Dandasana. Hands beside hips, sit up tall, draw your shoulders toward each other. Elbows should be pointing backwards, so think of the elbows drawing toward one another. Sit up a little taller, push your thighs to the floor, pull your toes toward your knees, and breathe. Gaze at your toes, feel that length on the back of the neck, and then that puppet string is pulling you taller and taller. Inhale and exhale. Lift the arms straight up overhead, hinging at the waist, shoulder blades toward one another, lead with the chest, and then when you can't go anymore, hands to shin, ankles, toe bind. Avoid letting the shoulder blades separate. Keep them drawing toward one another. Lead with the sternum. And fold over your legs in Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Inhale and exhale. Inhale coming up. Place your hands behind you, and then feet forward of the knee, sole of the foot on the floor. Drop the knees toward the right ankle on the outside of the left knee. Return the left sitting bone to the floor, and breathe into the left outer thigh. Inhale and exhale. Back through neutral, switch sides. Right sitting bone to the floor. Left knees to the side. Breathe in that right outer thigh. Inhale and exhale. And then feet back down. Then windshield wiper the knees back and forth. Internal and external hip rotation here. Back to neutral. Baddha Konasana, bound angle, soles of the feet together, heels up, fingers wrap, sit up tall, elbows to thigh, lift chest, hinge at the waist and fold. Up, move the feet forward, legs are still in a diamond shape, knees are moving to the floor. And exhale, fold forward, forehead towards or into the arches of your feet. Breathe into the outer thigh, outer hip. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, coming back up. Let's do fallen triangle. All right, so this is going to be a little more complicated setup, but it's a really lovely outer hip, outer thigh stretch. Let's see, so you're facing to the top of your mat, yeah. And I want you to cross your shins, roll over your feet, and then lift your hips, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up to the air, and then bend the knee, bring the knee to your chest, and then take your right foot out to the left and straighten the leg. So now you're on the outside edge of your right foot. Bring that right foot up towards the same plane as your left shoulder. Keep your chest neutral, and then start bending your elbows and let your right outer hip approach the floor. All the while, keep your chest neutral. So both pectorals are pointing to the floor, and you're breathing into that right outer hip. Inhale and exhale. You can always lower to the left knee and then have that right leg out. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, coming back up. Bring the right knee to the chest and then right leg up. Switching sides. I'm going to turn 90 degrees so perhaps you can see me better. Right, left knee to chest. And then start sending the left foot out to the right. Bring the foot towards the same plane as the right shoulder. You're on the outer edge of your left foot. Left leg is straight, but the chest is neutral to the floor. So you're stacked up over your shoulder, and you can bend the knee, elbows rather. Inhaling and exhaling. And then come back to your neutral. Pedal your feet. Sway your hips. And then look forward. You're either going to walk your feet up and then cross the shins, or you're just going to jump through to your seat. Lay down onto your back. Feet underneath the knees. Knees at hips distance. Hands, palms down. Push into your heels. Lift your hips and hold for 10 breath cycles. Squeeze your bum cheeks, your glutes. Shift your hips, the front of your hips towards the ceiling. Lift your lower ribs. Scoot your shoulder blades closer to one another. Hands can clasp if you like and push the forearm to the floor. Breathe into your front outer, your front hip. Let the waist crease there, the upper thigh. Inhale and exhale. Another 4 breath cycles. Big inhale through the nose and exhale. And then back down to the floor. Just pause. Take a couple breath cycles. Do not hug your knees to your chest yet. And one more 10 breath bridge. Pushing into your heels. Engage. Lift the hips. Scoot the shoulder blades together. Option to clasp the hands. Push the forearms. Now I want you to add on, without moving the feet, pull the heels toward the shoulders. Feel your upper hamstrings turn on. Pushing the hips up. Hip extension here. Breathe in and breathe out. And then coming down. Give your knees a hug to your chest now. Rock side to side. And then place your left foot down on the floor, right ankle above left knee. The right hand goes through the circle, interlaced behind the left thigh or on top of the left shin. Draw your right toes to your right knee, and then lift your forehead towards the left knee, all the while sending that right knee away from you. And then start pressing the lower back sacrum tailbone to the floor. Breathe into your right outer hip. and switch sides. Right foot to the floor, left ankle above knee, left arm threads, interlace, forehead to right knee, left toes towards the left knee and the left knee tracks away, and then press lower back, sacrum, tailbone to the floor. Supine figure four. The most accessible outer hip stretch. And then let your head come back down. Take your knees and hug them to your chest. Rock a little side to side. We're going to take happy baby and half happy baby. With your knees still bent at 90 degrees, soles of the feet up to the ceiling, hands to the inside or outside edge of the feet. Pull with your hands pulling on the feet. Bring your knees closer to the floor. And you're going to notice that your hips start lifting up. Now, I want you to work, keep the knees where they're at best you can. Then start pressing the lower back, sacrum, tailbone to the floor. You can rock a little side to side here. That feels good. Come back to holding still, breathing in through your nose and exhale. Couple more breaths here. Full happy baby. Half happy baby. Left leg goes straight. Hold on to that right foot. You're keeping everything on the right the same. And then let the left leg start floating down to the floor. Pull the left toes toward the left knee, left hand to your left waist crease. And then just let that left leg hit that point of resistance. It may be floating over the floor, and that's okay. Let gravity do its work. Keep the back of your hips connected to the mat. All the while, the right sole of the foot is to the ceiling. You keep pulling that right knee to the floor, and as you do so, you'll notice your left leg starts to lift. The left back of the hips lift. Press that lower, press the left side back down to the mat on the back of the hips, and then let gravity just do its work. You may want to take your fingertips and touch the top of your right thigh. Tactile engagement, touching muscles. They're very, very tight, creates a stronger mind-body connection. And then release, switch sides. So come back through full happy baby. Right leg goes up and then floats down. Use the breath. Concentrate the mind to where you feel that tightness. It may be in the left outer hip, or it could be your right waist crease. Just depends where your mobility is and what you need to work on. And every time it's different. All right, hug your knees to your chest. Rock a little side to side. We have come to the inversion portion of our practice. Lots of options. One would be to simply lift your legs, straighten them best you can, and you can put your hands behind your thighs. If you have that strap, you can put it over the balls of the feet and push the heels to the ceiling. Back of the head relaxes on the floor. This is called reclined staff posture. So think of Dandasana, the one we sit up and do it like this, but now you're on your back. You just reoriented yourself 90 degrees. You have shoulder stand or a headstand in your practice. That means you know how to do them. I offer this space for you to be able to do that. I would recommend working with me in person or your regular yoga teacher to start those practices. They have a little bit of risk in them around the neck, and want you to be very careful. As always, legs up against the walls, a lovely inversion, and you can stay there through our meditative practice. About another 10 breath cycles. Feel free to, if you're in a headstand, you can put your feet in prayer. You can helicopter around a bit, exploring. This is really your space. And when you have finished, feel free to take any other little bit of movement. Sometimes there's just one area of your body that needs some extra tension that perhaps this sequence hasn't really addressed, and you just need to spend a couple breath cycles in it. This is your body, your practice. I'm just your guide. And then take your time. Move through your counter postures. Shoulder standers, you'll move through fish, but most everyone else, if you're laying on your back, you're going to want to hug your knees to your chest. If you've been in a headstand, child's posture, handstand, child's posture, forearm stand, child's posture. Most inversions, the counter posture is child's posture, balasana. Then find your way to rest. Rest takes many shapes or forms also, and you do the one that works best for you. I'm just going to take seated meditation, my wrist draped over my knees. You can lay on your back, legs at 30 degrees, feet falling open, arms at 30 degrees, palms up. And of course, you're welcome to stop the video and have an extended rest. 10, 15, 20 minutes. So very nice. So very nice to give yourself that kind of space. Let go of your deliberate breath and you feel the floor beneath you supporting you. Let go of your effort in your body. So just feel yourself relaxing. Take this quick scan through the major parts of your body and notice on a physical level what has changed, what feels different. Notice on an energetic level, those areas of the body, what feels different. Perhaps your mind is just more aware of how you feel in your legs, your arms, the trunk of your body, or maybe even on something more specific. How you feel in your knee, your wrists. Quietness and stillness, shoo away any thoughts that come to mind. Just be present. Again, you're welcome to stay in this meditation, but if you're ready to finish, roll to the right-hand side of your body if you've been on your back. And join me in a seated meditation. We'll end where we began, 3 long, even breaths. Breathing in, 2, 3, and exhale, 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3, and exhale, 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3, and exhale, 2, 3. Bring your hands together at heart center and reflect on the intention you set at the beginning of our practice together. The light in me honors the light in you. We bow towards one another. Namaste. Thank you all for your hard work. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Stay safe and be well. Namaste.